Here's the truth most men don't want to hear. If you're questioning her loyalty, trust me, you're not imagining things. There are signs that scream betrayal, and if you know where to look, you'll uncover the truth before it's too late. Let me tell you something. This isn't about paranoia. It's about paying attention to the details that everyone else misses. So, listen up, because by the end of this video, you'll see her for who she really is. If you're ready to take control, hit that subscribe button, like this video, and drop your city in the comments. Let's talk. Way 1, she's suddenly too busy for you, something's off, and you're feeling it in your gut. That nagging, uneasy sensation that creeps in when you try to reach her, but she's always busy. It's subtle at first, an occasional late night, a sudden weekend work trip, or a text that reads, "Sorry, I've got a lot going on." But when this becomes the new normal, you know something's wrong. Here's the thing. When someone truly cares, they'll make time for you, no excuses. But when they're pulling away, suddenly their life gets extra busy, and you're the one who's left in the dust. You start to notice it more and more. She's working late more often than usual, but it never seems to add up. You ask, "What's going on tonight?" And she's quick with an excuse. "I'm finishing up a project." But why does every project seem to pop up at 9 p.m. when you needed her most? Funny how she's always too tired to join you for dinner, but manages to meet up with her friends later that evening. The pattern is undeniable. This isn't just bad timing, my friend. This is emotional avoidance. She doesn't want to deal with you right now, and instead of being honest, she hides behind work, obligations, or just vague answers. Her absence is becoming a permanent feature in your life, and not because she's suddenly too busy to care. It's because she's busy giving someone else her time and energy. But that's not the worst part. What happens next, how she tries to deflect even more, will leave you questioning everything. But it's coming, and you need to be ready for it. Stay tuned. Way 2, her phone becomes her best friend. Have you ever caught her glued to her phone, her eyes darting away the moment you walk into the room? It's subtle, but it hits you hard when you notice it. She's suddenly so attached to that device, almost like it's an extension of her. The phone that used to be tossed aside during dinner or left face up now seems to be treated like a treasure chest, one that you're no longer allowed access to. The moment you ask what she's texting about, she quickly hides the screen, giving you a short, dismissive answer. Just work stuff. But here's the thing. Work stuff doesn't need to be hidden, especially when she's acting so defensive. A woman who's truly in a relationship with you doesn't need to put up walls between you and her phone. If she's guarding it with her life, flipping it over when you're near, locking it more than usual, or disappearing to check it in private, you're not just dealing with a phone obsession. You're dealing with someone who's emotionally investing in someone else. And then there's the constant pattern of, "Oh, I'll just check my messages real quick," when her phone buzzes. She's texting someone, maybe a coworker, maybe someone you don't even know. What does she need to hide so badly? Her phone is the key to another world, one you're not invited to. You ask her why she's so secretive, and her response, "You're being paranoid." It's just a text. She flips the script, and suddenly, you're the one who's in the wrong for questioning her behavior. But here's the real kicker. If she's hiding it from you now, the things she's really hiding are much deeper than you think. The next sign, however, will hit even closer to home, and it'll leave you questioning everything you thought you knew. Stay with me. Way 3, the sudden lack of affection. You've probably felt it by now. The coldness. That once warm embrace has turned into something distant, a mere formality, like a handshake with someone you barely know. She used to light up when you walked into the room, a spark in her eyes, a genuine smile. Now, you're lucky if she even looks up from her phone or gives you a distracted kiss. It's not that she's physically absent, she's still there, but emotionally, you're on your own. It's subtle at first. Maybe she's tired from work, maybe she's been stressed, but you start to notice how the affection you once shared feels more like an afterthought. When she does touch you, it's half-hearted, like she's just going through the motions. That hug, it's perfunctory. The kiss? A quick peck on the cheek. These little moments that used to hold warmth are now empty gestures. Here's the kicker. She's still telling you that everything's fine. She might say, "I love you," but the words don't carry the same weight. There's no passion behind them anymore, no depth. She might even go through the motions of being affectionate when you ask for it, but it's more about checking off a box than actually feeling it. So, what's happening here? Her emotional energy isn't with you anymore. It's going somewhere else, maybe someone else. And while her body might still be present in the relationship, her heart and soul, they're gone. She's emotionally checked out, leaving you to wonder where things went wrong. But trust me, the real shock is coming when you realize exactly where her affection is going. And it won't be pretty. The next sign will shake you to your core, and you won't be able to ignore it any longer. Way 4. She starts being secretive about friends. Suddenly, her social circle is a mystery. It's not that she's never had friends, but now, every mention of a new person seems to raise red flags. She starts telling you about this new friend. Let's call him Mark. But something doesn't sit right. At first, it's casual. "Oh, Mark from work, he's just a buddy." You don't think much of it, until it becomes Mark this and Mark that. But here's the catch. When you ask to meet him or hear more about their hangouts, her tone shifts. "Oh, it's not a big deal, I don't think you'd get along with him." Why not? If he's just a friend, why does he become this elusive character in her life, one you're not allowed to meet? And then come the little details. She's been hanging out with him, but she's too busy for plans with you. Her girls' night out now somehow turns into Mark and friends. You notice she's wearing a new perfume, one you didn't buy for her, but she insists it's nothing. "I just like it better." Something's off. You start to wonder, is this really just a friend, or is there something more? When her energy starts to shift in favor of someone else, the lies become harder to ignore. It's as if every part of their relationship is kept secret from you. And when you ask about it, she gets defensive, snapping, "You're overreacting." But here's the kicker. She's deflecting. Every time you try to break through her wall of secrecy, she turns it around, making you feel like you're the one causing the problem. What happens next, though, will make you question everything. If you think that's the worst of it, wait until you uncover what she's really hiding. The next sign is even harder to spot, but it's one you can't ignore. Stay tuned. Way 5. The work ran late excuse. We've all heard it before, the classic "I'm working late" line. It's the one she says when she's running hours behind on her work. But every time it happens, you start feeling more like a bystander in your own relationship. At first, it seems innocent. You trust her. Maybe she just has a project that ran over. But when this excuse becomes a regular part of your life, it stops feeling like a coincidence. She's working late again. And then it's, "Oh, sorry, I couldn't pick up your call. I was in a meeting." But the thing is, you know she didn't always work this much. Suddenly, her schedule is filled with late nights and rushed mornings. And every time you ask for a little clarity on what she's actually doing, she snaps back with, "You're being paranoid, it's just work." The problem isn't the late hours themselves, but how they start to feel like a convenient cover-up. It's an easy escape when she doesn't want to tell you where she's really been or who she's been with. And the more she uses the excuse, the more distant she becomes, emotionally and physically. Your late-night texts get ignored and your calls go unanswered while she's working at all hours. Funny how that same work always seems to leave her available for a quick chat with someone else later. This behavior isn't just about late nights. It's the way she's learned to hide in plain sight, using work as a shield. But here's the thing. The truth is never just one simple excuse. The next sign is a little more calculated, and it'll make you feel like you're living in a movie. You won't believe what you uncover next. Stay tuned. Way 6. She becomes defensive. When questioned. When someone has nothing to hide, they don't need to get defensive. But when her walls go up every time you ask a simple question, that's a sign you need to pay attention to. You've probably noticed it. You ask her about something minor, like where she was last night or why she's been so distant lately, and suddenly it's like you've triggered an alarm inside her. She snaps back with, "Why are you always accusing me of things?" or "I don't need to explain myself to you." It's almost like a switch flips, and what was supposed to be a simple conversation becomes a battlefield. Her defensiveness doesn't just end with a few angry words, it escalates. She deflects every question, refuses to give direct answers, or turns it around on you, making it seem like you're the one in the wrong for even asking. The more you press for clarity, the more she doubles down, insisting you're overreacting or being paranoid. She might even try to manipulate you into feeling guilty for questioning her trust. But here's the thing, a woman who isn't hiding anything will calmly answer your questions, even if they're tough. She won't turn defensive. She'll try to reassure you. But when she's hiding something, especially an affair, she feels cornered and uses defensiveness to deflect. Now, what makes this even more insidious is that this shift in behavior can happen gradually. At first, it's just a few curt answers, but soon, every inquiry you make feels like an interrogation. And the more you ask, the more distant she becomes. But wait, the real shocker is coming. You'll discover what's really behind her defensiveness, and it's not just about hiding information. What's next is going to leave you reeling. Stay with me. Way 7. She creates drama when you question her. If you've noticed that every time you ask her something serious, especially about her whereabouts or the way she's been acting, she spirals into a dramatic outburst, you're not dealing with a simple misunderstanding. Instead, she's using drama to distract, deflect, and avoid the truth. Here's how it usually goes. You ask a basic question, something that any loving partner should be able to answer without hesitation. And instead of giving you a direct response, she blows up. She might accuse you of not trusting her, making you feel guilty for even questioning her. "Why are you always trying to control me?" she'll say, or "You don't even believe in me anymore, do you?" Suddenly, the conversation isn't about her behavior or your concerns. It's about you being the bad guy. And that's exactly what she wants. The more you try to explain, the more she raises her voice, turns on the tears, and makes the issue about your insecurity. You've seen this before, haven't you? It's a classic move, designed to twist your perception of reality and put you on the defensive. But here's the kicker. When someone is hiding something, especially an affair, they'll use anything to avoid having to confront the truth. Drama is a powerful weapon because it distracts you from the real issue, her unfaithfulness. By turning the tables and accusing you of being controlling, paranoid, or insecure, she can avoid addressing her own behavior. This kind of manipulation is subtle but effective, and you'll start to feel like you're constantly walking on eggshells. You'll second-guess your own instincts, wondering if maybe you're just being unreasonable. But the real shocker? When the drama fades and the silence sets in, you'll find something much more dangerous lurking in the shadows. The truth is worse than you think. Keep watching. Way 8. She encourages you to pursue your own interests. Something strange starts happening. She encourages you to go out, spend time with your friends, and dive into your hobbies. At first, it seems like she's just being supportive, giving you space to do your own thing. But soon, it starts to feel less like freedom and more like distance. She pushes you to hang out with your buddies more, even when you haven't asked for it. She says things like, "You need a break. Go hang out with the guys, you're always so stressed." At first, you think it's a healthy gesture, right? She wants you to have some personal space. But here's the thing. This isn't about her wanting you to be happy. It's about her needing space from you. When she starts telling you to get out more, it's almost like she's setting up an emotional gap. She's already checked out of the relationship emotionally and is now giving you the green light to go off on your own while she does the same. She's not interested in spending quality time with you anymore. Instead, she'd rather you stay busy and distracted so you don't notice how little she's investing in your relationship. The more she pushes you to seek your own social circle, the more it feels like she's paving the way for something or someone else. It's not just about her needing space. It's about her needing to fill that space with someone who's giving her the attention that you once did. And then comes the part that will leave you floored. You'll find out that the space she's encouraging you to take is the exact same space she's filling with someone else. But the next revelation, It's more than just another person. The real truth is even more insidious than that. Stick around, because this one's going to hit hard. Way 9. She fumbles. When she has to tell you about her day. When you ask her about her day, something doesn't quite add up. She hesitates, stumbles over her words, or takes way too long to answer. Maybe she changes the subject abruptly. Or worse, she gives you a vague, unconvincing story. You notice the little things, the pauses, the fumbling, the way she tries to make it sound like she's telling the truth, but something feels off. You've asked her about her day a million times before, and the conversation used to flow easily. But now, she seems to trip over even the simplest details. I went to the store, just, picked up a few things, but why does it feel like she's leaving something out? She's not being honest, not because she doesn't care, but because she's hiding the truth. She's scared that if she tells you too much, the story won't hold up. And that's because it won't. It's not about whether she went to the store or not. It's about the way she's hiding parts of her day. It's about the emotional distance that's crept in, the walls that have slowly been built up. She knows she's not where she used to be with you, and when you ask her to account for her day, she's not sure which version of the truth she should feed you. So, she stumbles through a half-baked explanation, hoping you won't catch on. But here's the twist. Her inability to tell you about her day is just the tip of the iceberg. What's really lurking beneath the surface is a story she's desperately trying to hide, one that goes much deeper than these small, awkward lies. What happens next will shock you. Keep watching. Way 10, she becomes emotionally distant. You can feel it, can't you? That growing gap between the two of you. At first it was subtle. Maybe she wasn't as responsive to your texts or didn't seem as excited to see you. But now the emotional distance has become undeniable. She's physically present, but emotionally, she's a million miles away. It's as though you're speaking to a stranger instead of the woman you once knew. Conversations feel forced, awkward even. Her responses are short, impersonal, almost robotic. You've tried to reach out, to connect, but she pulls back every time. It's painful, watching her slip further and further away, especially when you're the one left feeling like you're still trying. You ask her what's wrong, but she brushes it off with a quick, "I'm just tired," or "nothing's going on." But deep down, you know it's more than that. She's checked out, she's emotionally unavailable, and you're left grasping for answers she's not willing to give. She's no longer sharing her feelings with you, no longer confiding in you the way she once did. Those little moments of intimacy, the quiet connections, the comfort of being in sync, all of that is gone. And here's the hardest part. She doesn't even seem to care. You're fighting to keep things alive, but she's already made peace with the idea of moving on, even if she hasn't physically walked out the door yet. See you in the next video.